Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Chromebook Classroom. I am a very lucky geeky consultant today because I'm joined by my two friends, Sarah and Carmen, and they are here today to really help us take our new teacher Chromebooks and, of course, our student Chromebook devices and focus on how we can support all of our learners with some universal strategies. We're not having to run around and plan, 5 different activities in our classroom. We've got a great way for us to really focus on that universal representation today. Good morning, Sarah and Carmen. Do you want to say hello to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Oslin, Inclusive Programming Consultant.
And I'm Carmen Gartner, Inclusive Programming Consultant as well. So as Tricia mentioned, we are looking at some UDL strategies, and we really wanted to focus on representation. So different ways that students can produce a product or even access an assignment. We see this all across the board from kindergarten all the way to grade 12, where students are doing different activities that maybe they're using pen and paper, and we want to just provide a little more options for everyone.
And so the tool that we're going to use today is Padlet, and we're using it to showcase the various ways to showcase different ways that students can be sharing their learning.
I love this. And so first and foremost, I'm so excited about this site. You shared this site with me and I was just thrilled because I feel like we're always trying to come up with a new way to meet student needs. You have a whole toolkit of strategies for us. We've got this link below the video for you. And it really has broken down the vast, like you said, Carmen, choice. What choices do we have for students in our classroom? I love that we have this site, and you've taken one of those common ideas where we can work together to create, say, like a collaborative brainstorming, collaborative poster. But we know that as soon as something is in print, we are automatically excluding some of our students. And so what I love about what you're about to show us is we're leveling that playing field for all of our students. This isn't just to use separately for students with needs. This is something that we can use for all of our students, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Trish. We're always thinking about those diverse learners, and this is something that can be implemented in the classroom really successfully to help program for all students, because we know that every learner is as unique as their fingerprint, and so this is a really good tool that will allow for students to showcase their strengths and go from there.
And so you're taking us to Padlet. Now, I started using Padlet, oh my goodness, I want to say at least like 8-9 years ago. It's really updated. It's really upgraded what we can do inside of Padlet. And we call this a freemium tool because there is a free version, there is a paid version. We love the free version. We're frugal girls. We know that we like the free version. We can get up to 7 Padlets. And I get rid of those Padlets that we've done, we've processed, we've used, and we start again. So you're going to take us to Padlet and show it what it looks like once we first get there. We sign in. We can sign in with our partner sign-in accounts, and we can see that we get a dashboard, right?
Yeah, so here's my dashboard. And then the one that we'll go through today is the multiple needs and representation. And then later on, we'll look through the gallery because there's some really good ideas in the gallery on how you can use this in your classroom.
And for our students, they can join a Padlet. We don't have to worry about them having Padlet accounts and all those things. We're simply going to be giving our students a link, whether that's through Microsoft Teams or in our Google Classroom. And it's so easy to get all of our students. They can even do it from their personal phone devices, right?
And yeah, can they edit right on there once they...
Oh boy, they sure can. And so that's part of setting up the Padlet. I don't know, Sarah, do we want to show like when you're first creating that Padlet, what it looks like when you click make a Padlet?
Yeah, there's different options for you to pick. The one that we picked was stream.
Yeah.
And then another good one is timeline. This could be good for if you're doing summaries, if you're doing life cycles.
Look at all of this. Like, how neat to kind of create that visual schema for our students to put their thinking. I always say the death by blank page is a real thing. And so when we can give our students some of that structure, I think that's so great. And when you select with one of those, it gives you the ability to start to set up those settings. You get to give it a title, a description, an appearance, attributions. And then, of course, there's even content filtering, which means if you want moderation, so you want to be able to make sure what your students are and approve it before it goes on, you can. But I love that you are completely in charge of this entire setup. And then now we can just create, and we're simply sharing it with a link.
And another thing I'll just mention, Trish, when students comment, you can select this on and off, and other students can comment on what a student just wrote. Yes, I agree, or have you ever thought about this? So there's ways for the students to communicate with each other and interact with each other on the platform.
And how powerful, because that is the future of education. Whether you're going to, high school, post-secondary, even us in our work life, we do need to be able to learn how to have some of that digital communication. It has to be taught. We have to teach those skills. We know that we can end up with a lot of things we don't necessarily want, but just like we teach students how to have a discussion in class, in person, it's teaching students how to be able to do that appropriately online. I love it. But you have kicked us off a beautiful Padlet that was so easy to set up, just to really encapsulate what multiple means of representation looks like.
Yeah, so here we were kind of looking at a language arts class. Could be elementary, junior high, high school, but we decided to take an example of language arts where you're connecting text to self, text to text, text to world. We do have the story. So Sarah, if you want to scroll over there. So students can either listen to the story, so have the story read to them. I think it's Michael Bublé. Very cool. Yeah, there he is. And then students can also read the story. So we do have the story posted there.
So we can embed material. So we're embedding YouTube videos. We're embedding a Google Doc. This is fantastic.
And what I like about this is, we can just pull down Google Read Write, and there the students can use all those tools to read the story, which is fantastic.
Amazing. And that's right. For anybody watching who doesn't know, every single staff and student in Edmonton Catholic Schools has a license for Read and Write, because we do believe it's an educational technology tool, not just assistive technology, and it works over top of any of these web-based applications.
So right away in this example, like we're taking ability out of the factor. We can have the story read to them, or they can read it themselves. So whether a student is at for lack of a better level A or level Z,
right,
it can be attained by either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now if we want our students engaging in here, what does that look like? What are their options as they want to start to communicate? So we can set this up as a teacher slide. I love this. We've got this place. We've created this instructional space, but it very quickly transforms into a demonstration of learning space because the students have some options for that representation.
Yeah, so after they listen or read the story, they might want to do some sort of connection. So they might have read it and they have a text to self connection, or text to text, or text to world. And so instead of that old-fashioned pencil paper, write it in your response, your reader's response. They may go in here, they select the plus button, they might title it. They can just type their answer, or they can select other things like maybe they just want to do a verbal response and just share verbally what reminded them when they listen to the story, what kind of connection they connected to it in their own self. They might just have drawn a picture in their scribbler and then take a picture of it and upload it. They might do a text to text and then link, or YouTube link another video of a book that they thought they could make those connections to. They might be silly and put in some GIFs.
But you know, as much as it's silly, we're thinking about engagement. We're thinking about how students communicate. I love this screen right here. And I think this is what true universal design looks like. I call it the trinity of accessibility. And that's when we have print, yes, but can we have images, audio, and video to go along with that to really open up demonstration of learning? This is amazing because it's totally built in. And we know on our Chromebook devices, built-in cameras, built-in microphones. Your Google Drive is completely attached. You can upload those things. This is unbelievable for really, there's no restrictions for how a student could respond. Question for you. I'm going to assume the answer is yes. If I did want to put some print on the page, I'm guessing read and write is also going to help me. I would be able to use the speech to text for that voice typing as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Trish.
That's
Try
okay.
it out. Should we try it?
It's always like, do you do the live demo? I love it. I love it. So when you're doing
I
it,
wanted to say, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
One thing I want to say is I love how Spotify's there too, because a really cool activity you could do is create a soundtrack or create a playlist for this book or this excerpt or whatever, right? And that's always fun for students to get involved in.
That's also high level thinking. If you think about it, if I need to really understand a character from a story and I can create that playlist of that moment or that day, that's some high level understanding of I'm really getting that character. I'm really getting that moment in the story. And we're doing it in a way that really speaks to our students. So I couldn't agree more. That's so fantastic. Love this.
In the multiple intelligence too, right?
Right.
Some students are musically driven, some are more artistic, and so it encompasses
It's all there.
Now, what is amazing is Sarah and Carmen have created this Padlet. We have the link to this Padlet below this video. So if you want to give this a try, if you want to be able to come in here, if you want to, click and try adding an image in a video or whatever you want, a little bit of play before you do yourself, you absolutely can do that. And just what a great example. This probably didn't take you too long to set up for this lesson, right?
No. Pretty quick. And then I wanted to show you some in the gallery too,
Yes.
just to give some more ideas. These are ones that we didn't create, but you could.
So can you just pull these? Can you copy them?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just there as for ideas.
You can remake them. You can. So up in the top right-hand corner, there's a little button that says remake. What it does is it's like this digital photocopy and now it's yours. And now you can use it and modify it.
I'm glad you asked that question, Carmen.
Perfect timing. But
The answer to that was yes, Carmen.
Yes.
You can remake it. Right there.
Right there. Oh, okay.
look, well, what a great example of KWL. Maybe we're not studying giraffes, but what a great KWL and an image for us to be able to use even as an example for students or replace it with our own content. Love that.
Yeah, and like life cycles. There was a good one here for grade 6 science, planets.
Wow. Oh, look at the timeline. I get asked constantly for timeline tools. This is unbelievable. How amazing. And what I love about it, again, a powerful instructional tool for our teachers, but what a great student demonstration of learning tool for them to be able to go in. I also love the idea as an assessment tool. If a student allows me to be a collaborator, because you can collaborate together on a Padlet, I can leave audio feedback for my students on their Padlet right there for them, even just using those tools that go along with it. So we kind of have that full cycle of instruction, demonstration of learning, and assessment all in one tool.
And timely feedback too.
Yes, yes. Well, this is unbelievable. I'm excited about that entire list of UDL strategies you've given us. I think you've given us a revisit to some of a tool that, like I said, it's been years since I've come back to this tool, and boy, have they made improvements. There were none of these. It was basically you could use a white board to put some Post-it notes on. They really have upgraded things, but just a huge thank you for helping us to see ways that we can support all of our learners in a very engaging and accessible way that's possible on all of our Chromebook devices.
Thank you, Trish.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.